We'll give it a minute, cause like when I started streaming last time, it took forever, and then yeah, and even in the exit. Welcome to the Last Relic. It's Gabriel.
Anderson.
All right. Starting off today with sad news. As you guys know, um, James Earl Jones passed away. He voiced Vader. He was also. I first saw him as like an actor in I think it was Field of Dreams, and Sandlot. I don't know like all of his roles. Maybe also Coming to America, Eddie Murphy's dad.
Yeah.
But like I just want to like talk about him a little bit because I feel he doesn't get as much credit as he actually deserves. Like he's kind of hidden away, you know. To the point where Disney, they were giving birthday shout outs. Like Lucasfilm decided to do this birthday thing on Instagram and Twitter where they shout out the actor's birthday that played a certain character. And James Earl Jones was left out like year after year. They didn't wish him happy birthday, which was insane. Like you could tell like he lived till 93, so awesome, you know. But you could tell like his voice wasn't the same when he played Vader. He voiced Vader in more roles after, you know, Return of the Jedi and all that stuff, and Revenge of the Sith. But yeah, like he's anybody who's loves Star Wars, like he's probably one of the most he's probably the most important voice of Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, Darth Vader, like the big bad, Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, like. So it sucks. But the good thing is that he lived a long life and he, you know, he brought a lot of joy to people. He brought fear into a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just I think it's important to remember him, and I just wanted to honor him a little bit in the beginning of the stream. So it's almost like bittersweet because he's, no matter what you believe in, you know, he fulfilled a great life. Like he did a lot. You know, he made people happy. He like there's awesome stories like he used to own like I think it was like one of those hand radio things that got on the semi truck drivers frequency broadcast.
Yeah.
And he would find out like the names of the truckers and stuff, and he had to stop because it was almost causing accidents. He would like talk to the person in the voice of Vader through the through the radio, and like especially at night. So it's like people thought they were hallucinating. They're like, oh, "Is the radio talking to me?" Yes, this for the Empire. You know, it's super cool. Like he was a light-hearted guy. He was very much like not part of like not woke or whatever. He was just he wasn't very political. He was just like, no, I'm an actor and I have my beliefs, and he was very open about his beliefs in God, but he wasn't getting into politics and all that stuff. And so he was very much like a person that you wanted to meet in a way. Like he just brought a lot of good to this world. Even though, like, I'm not saying he's perfect. He probably screwed up a lot. Who knows? But you know, he fulfilled a great life, and I think that's the best somebody can do is just do their best here, and he obviously did a lot for us. You know, like, we're never gonna forget Darth Vader's voice. It's his voice.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. You got anything to say, dude?
No, I literally found out like just looking through Instagram. I was like, oh, this can't be real. And then I kept seeing it pop up, and it was real.
Yeah. So, yeah, and like obviously anybody who's into Star Wars, the only medium we've kind of has been YouTube since 2012, right? Well, there was Kenobi book, which we'll talk about some other stream or a video, but I say like half good, half bad news. Star Wars Explained has finally been, I think, almost completely exposed. We talked about it, how he's just one of them figs, man. Like
Yeah.
figs with an A. And yeah, like he is a piece of garbage. His wife is a slut bag piece of garbage as well. She wears the pants in the relationship. He's just a pussy, man. I hate him. He's a despicable person.
So what makes his wife bad?
So his wife is she's the boss in the relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's the one that like has been false flagging other YouTubers and like wrote the whole campaign against like both of them, right? But
Okay.
she's like the fall guy. Like he's like, no, it wasn't me. It was my wife, kind of thing. And she's just kind of like, yeah, I hate you guys, type deal.
Yeah.
Like there was a story, Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he wanted to talk to him in person, like, hey, let's hash this out. Like, I don't want to fight you or anything, but like, let's just figure it out, right? Like, find common ground.
Yeah.
Because we're like one of the reasons I like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, because he says like, I don't like YouTube drama because I treat it as if we're all employees of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good mindset to have, I think.
No,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Like, why would you hate on somebody that just because they might be more successful than you in this?
Yeah, because in the end, they're
job,
both sponsored by the same company. So
yeah. So he like the dude just like chicken on like ran from him, like made sure that he couldn't find him and all this stuff and like Star Wars Theory, I showed like DMs and stuff. So Star Wars Theory in his first like 2 to 4 months or something like that, he gained like 50,000 subscribers when he started YouTube.
Yeah.
And he was just doing it because he loved doing it. He didn't know.
Yeah.
He really didn't know what he was doing. Actually, like didn't even expose his face. Nothing.
Yeah.
And Star Wars Explained literally sent a passive aggressive message to Star Wars Theory, pretty much hating on Star Wars Theory and Stupendous Wave, which I have my own problems with Stupendous Wave. He like Stupendous Wave keeps trying to make content that's from Legends related to the current lore, which you can't do with current canon.
What do you mean?
Okay, so
like he keeps trying to add stuff that was originally
so
from Legends?
he keeps like trying to explain like this stuff from Legends does work in today's canon. Like he did his most recent video today was how Darth Bane would have not liked Palpatine's ruling and whatever. And I was listening to it.
That sounds more like a headcanon than like.
No, like it's not. I wouldn't say it's headcanon. I would say it's pretty solid because, like, they did introduce Darth Bane in Clone Wars, right? So for all intents and purposes, those 3 novels that we got are connected.
Mm-hmm.
But Disney also says that the Sith ruled for like 1,000 years before the Jedi did, and I was like, that's completely false, untrue. Doesn't work that way. And then like before like the Republic, I don't even know. Like it's just stupid. But he was just saying like because of Darth Bane's principles and his personality, and stuff like that, he was showing how like the things that Palpatine were doing was contradictory to what Darth Bane wanted. So it was pretty fair, and it was a great video. But just that little stuff at the end that he kind of adds about freaking like the current canon is like, dude, nobody cares about current canon because it's bullcrap. They keep rewriting it. Acolyte, even if it's canceled, is a canon thing. It's canon. Like they changed Ki-Adi-Mundi completely as a character. They made Yoda completely incompetent and changed him as a character. They ruined the prequels officially, completely dead. You know, like the sequels ruined the original and the prequels, but mainly the original. Now people were still like, no, we got the prequels, right? You know, like we got Clone Wars, we got this, blah blah blah, and now this has ruined that. Like, it just sucks. So I feel like Stupendous Wave, even though he does make great content, I'll give him that. I think he needs to give up the whole thing of like Disney's gonna turn around. Disney does their canon is canon and it's good canon. No, just the fans in terms of Star Wars, we have the say. And that's how I feel. I feel like the fans, like, we know this what is real canon. the things George Lucas approved of. All these things George Lucas didn't approve of. And it's not like George is perfect, but it's like, okay, George approved of something,
Mm-hmm.
but he also kept the magic there.
Mm-hmm.
So he kept the magic there, and that's really like the core essence of Star Wars, is like making you feel like this is Star Wars. None of the stuff that Disney has made has felt like Star Wars. Mandalorian almost a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, like episodes felt like Star Wars, you know, like Clone Wars sometimes didn't feel like Star Wars. Like I
Yeah.
like Clone Wars, but sometimes it just was like, this is a little far fetched, even for me, thinking about a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but regardless, Stupendous Wave still makes great content. He is a great Star Wars YouTuber. He has like 1.5 million followers. You know, he's almost there with Star Wars Theory.
Yeah.
And like they're saying like, oh, you guys grown so much, and I'm like, I'm working hard, and I just feel a little jealous. But all this bull crap. And Star Wars Theory, one of the things I liked was he was like, dude, I was like not eating. I was, not like studying. I dedicated everything to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't sleeping. I was doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to edit videos and make great content. And he's like, he remembers he got in a taxi with douchebag boy, Star Wars explained, and they were together. And then it was like a Sunday or something, and then he was editing a video in the car on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just editing a video for the new Vader comic that dropped." It's like, "Didn't that drop last night?" He's like, "Yeah, I didn't sleep." That's Star Wars Theory's work ethic. That's why he is where he is, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, because and it wasn't even like, I want money, I want followers. It's a part of it, but his main thing was like, I love Star Wars and I can't stop thinking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then he created this channel, and then like he said that he pressed play and start like the dude from Star Wars Explained, I don't even know his name, watched it with him and then said nothing and like left the taxi like when they got to the spot. And it was just like, yeah, you don't want to put in that much effort.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he would like message him like, oh, after I met you, you're such a nice guy, I feel bad because like, you know, this passive aggressive stuff. And then he goes on to freaking hate on him more. And then he used like, there's like a whole playlist of thumbnails with Geeks and Gamer, Jeremy's face, and Star Wars Theory. And in the thumbnails, in the description, and they're not there, they're not in the video, but it's just him ragging on him and clickbaiting to get his views. Yeah.
Okay.
And so then all of a sudden, a bunch of people on Twitter and YouTubers started flagging everybody's channel like all at once,
Mm-hmm.
which violates the term of service. It cannot be, you can't coordinate an attack on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be genuine. Like, hey, this person, you know, said whatever, like made threats online. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That like flag it, and then YouTube will analyze it. And if they false analyzed it, then the person who created the content can then go ahead and fight against it and make their claim, and then eventually possibly take it to court, all that stuff. But like YouTube just pretty much like, oh, we understand, but we reviewed their videos, none of it violates our term of service.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they keep flagging, and YouTube comes back with like the NPC response, like, they're good,
Mm-hmm.
stop it, you know, like, but they're like, but we appreciate it, you know, please keep
Yeah.
doing all
So
this
the
stuff.
regular robot.
But it's
reply,
been yeah, but so what's his face? I don't Theory. I forget his actual name.
I don't
He
know.
said it once in the stream, but Theory was he said that he'd be surprised if
Mhm.
these guys didn't band together and sue
Mm-hmm.
these other guys. With then Jeremy did a response video, and he's like, "Look, unless we're demonetized and something happens, we'll sue. But other than that, like, they're getting content from it, so they're actually making money."
This is Star Wars Theory. I don't know how the hell to say his name.
And that's not his name. So somebody look up. I think his name is like Austin or something. I don't know.
No, that's his name.
I doubt it. It was a pretty regular name, dude. It's not a retard, not a dotted.
It's not Star Wars Theory that you're thinking about then.
Dude, I've watched a lot of his streams. He said on a stream.
Can't be. Can't be.
Yeah, it's like a basic name, like James or something.
Alexander Damon is Star Wars Explained.
Let me see that.
Star Wars Theory is the fucking.
Go to Instagram, dude. What are you doing there? Go to Instagram. Yeah, go to Star Wars Explained. I'll show you why he's a freaking, like, I hate using beta and alpha. He's just a fig, man. He's just a queer douchebag.
You can't use those words anymore. This guy? Yeah, it's just Alex.
Alex, I almost said something. He's wearing a Leia costume. Like a queer.
I've seen a lot of Star Wars people do that. That's not.
Those aren't
anything
Those
new.
aren't Star Wars fans. Those are freaks. Those are animals.
I've seen that even before the sequels came out.
Again,
That's nothing
animals.
new. That's nothing new.
Yeah,
That's
I've
nothing
seen
new.
people watch cool anime and then jack off to like their own fan art. Those people are freaks.
Nothing
Those
new.
are not real fans, man. Those are called animals.
If anything, I think it's a bigger fan. He wants to stick his dick in the drawing. If anything, he's more dedicated than you are.
No, he's not that dedicated. I've thought about doing a Star Wars channel just to see. I'm like, let me see how long it will take me to surpass Star Wars Explained, just for fun.
Go for it.
Maybe not. We are gonna do Monday streams or shows or, I think we should call it like Day of Lore or something to do with lore, because we don't always have to talk about Star Wars, but it could be Star Wars. Actually, we can make Star Wars always a part of it and talk about lore, but then like talk about something else like Warhammer, and we just dive into deep lore like that, things we like. So Mondays coming soon, maybe hopefully next week or in the coming days after or coming weeks after that, we might start that. But yeah, like Mondays will be lore days, or we just we'll talk about Star Wars and we'll pick something and just go deep on the lore that maybe a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah,
But
first
yeah.
video, why you should stop watching Star Wars and get into Warhammer.
You don't have to stop watching it.
Yes, you do.
Well, I agree with that. Stop watching Star Wars, but then you can read Star Wars. The good
No,
stuff.
just forget Star Wars in general. That never existed.
Okay,
Warhammer.
look, dude. I get the hype of Warhammer, but it's not that great.
Neither is Star Wars anymore.
Yeah, but at least
Might as well leave it behind.
Yeah, but at least Star Wars, like, I get that Warhammer has the most extensive lore out of any property that currently exists, including Tolkien's lore.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not as gravitating. Because I think it's a tabletop game first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
If there was like a TV show, even an animated series,
There's 3.
that's actually good and popular.
Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah, you're the first person to tell me that ever in my life.
I'm also
Right
the
now.
first person that you meet, apart from Devin, that actually knew about Warhammer.
No, I knew about Warhammer when I was a kid. There was all the weird
I forgot
freaks.
you are super old.
All the weird freaks in my high school played Warhammer. They'd either play Magic during lunch,
I don't know about
or
Magic. I don't know shit
or
about
they
Magic.
would talk Warhammer, and they would. I didn't know they were painting their figurines, but they would put it there. And every time, like, every mall I went to, it was like Warhammer stores were popping up everywhere, because it would be like a small, I don't know, juice bar place just closed down. And then I thought it was like a toy store or something, because all these figurines like on the window and cool posters. You walk in, I'm like, ugh, and I just walk out. I'm like, there's nothing here for me. There's no comics, no nothing. But like, it's still not like a show that comes out that you'll like Fallout. Everybody would talk about Fallout, right? I didn't play the games, but I knew what Fallout was. Like, I might know what Warhammer is because of the name, but I don't really know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Warhammer is one of those things that, yeah, get into it, awesome. It's a rabbit hole, and you'll get completely immersed in it. But like, it's not something where, and I know you're like just joking around, but it's not something like you gotta give up Star Wars and go fully into Warhammer. Now, I will preface that as in, like, once you get into Warhammer, you will have to give some things up in your life because it's gonna take up a lot of time. Like, dude, like, yeah, people are into Warhammer. For the only person I the only person I know that still plays Warhammer that's married, and it's not because I know him, it's because I see him on social media, is Henry Cavill. The only people I knew that played Warhammer, they still live with their mother, and it's not a stereotype like this is all Warhammer fans, but it's what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
They were like 30, 40 years old, still live with their mother, maybe work at a grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like
Yeah.
it. Like, you and Devin are the first normal people I know that has played Warhammer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you guys are normal and you
Dude.
love Warhammer. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Like a Warhammer shop or any like tabletop shop is pretty much just going to a card shop, and it's the same fucking crowd, just for two different hobbies.
I also
Same fucking crowd.
I also never found some, like, every person that works at Warhammer shop, I've never seen one that was skinny. They're always overweight. And with like a really crappy beard.
I didn't even know there was like a Warhammer shop until like Devin showed me. That guy was an asshole. I'm never going back in that place ever again.
He made people hate Warhammer.
Like the first people that I ever saw that looked like actual regular people working at a tabletop shop was at Armada by where I live. Like not even 10 minutes from where I live, right? So I go in, holy shit, you guys are regular people. And then I turn the corner, and in the corner of the fucking room was this like Vietnam vet guy painting his little minis. I was like, okay, you're like the only one that stands out fully here. He's got a giant Gandalf beard.
It might be because like I've been watching Smiling Friends, but I just thought, get out of my head, get out of my head, man.
You putting smoke into my head, man. They don't know what to think no more, man.
Don't know what to think. Get out of my head.
Yeah. Only normal people I've ever seen. And then the college club.
Yeah.
Only normal
Like,
people.
I would have loved to see an all Star Wars store like popping up places. You know, they got lightsabers,
Yeah.
they got tabletop game, they got whatever. You know.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah.
Because those were the only action figures I really, like, I had multiple different types of action figures, but those were like the only packaged action figures I would get.
Mm-hmm.
Were like, you know, the Star Wars action figures. I had Qui-Gon, I had Darth Maul,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. They all came together, you know, and then I had to keep super gluing the lightsaber because it would break apart, the blade and the hilt.
Dude.
And I'm like, son of a bitch.
I remember I was looking into like Warhammer figures, the ones that you don't have to paint, the ones you can just have and like pose and shit. Why is it? All of them are expensive, man. There's no equivalent to it to like the Black Series, because they're always so much higher quality than the Black Series. I'm like, well, shit. Unless I spend like $80,
Yeah.
I can't have something that just sits
Like, damn, dude. Yeah, it's freaking.
there. Man, I love it though. I'm gonna watch that female custody episode tonight to like fully give my view on it.
Have fun. Kill
I
yourself.
didn't have a problem with the female custodies. I had a problem with how they were introduced and how they try to gaslight people into like making them believe that it always existed. If they would have gone,
well, it's
and made
different
an
if they're
entire-
adding to the lore. It's different
Yeah.
if they like introduce, like, maybe, I don't know, one of the custodians was just like, I want a wife but as strong as me. I don't know, like, that's stupid, but like something where it's like, all right, this is the first female custodians. The important thing isn't that she's a female, but maybe the story is like somebody went against the code.
Mhm.
Or somebody went against what was supposed to happen,
Mhm.
and now there's a female custodies,
Well,
and it's opening up new avenues. But they're like trying to say, like, dude, I'm not even a Warhammer fan, and I'm pissed about it because I hate it when companies, after they get the money from the fans made your company what it is,
mhm.
and then you just stab them in the back like that. Like,
In their defense, yes, custodies were introduced in 1978,
mm-hmm.
and they weren't introduced as all male.
So almost
There's
50 years.
one paragraph that says majority are male, not that all, because custodies are made completely different than Space Marines. Like completely different. So if a Space Marine ended up being a female, yeah, that shit is like pretty much retconning everything you know. Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
explained that the gene seed works best on males. And it works best on males because on females,
Yeah, but
it pretty much disintegrates their body.
Look at that line. It works best. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. So you see the kind of rabbit hole you kind of go into, like just because of the wording. Like, yeah, there was a paragraph. Fine. Oh, most are whatever.
Hmm.
Well, the problem, like, yeah, you might have left it open ended, but again, like you said, the way they're introducing it is a
Yeah,
problem.
that's the
Right.
problem I have with it.
Yeah, because it isn't like something that was hidden, a secret,
Hmm.
and having a very nice like because there's ways you could do it. There's ways where you could be like, okay, if we want female custodians to always be like, maybe we just had like a group of them, like 4 or 5 of them,
Hmm.
and they had particular missions, and like there was only one person who knew about it, maybe a scientist, or like add some layers to it, and then be like, well,
Like,
they use these female because like the main issue with custodians because they're like extremely strong, right?
and that they don't
And-
do anything
Yeah, yeah,
apart from sit in a castle the
Yeah.
entire time.
yeah. So like all for the emperor, right?
Yeah.
So then like, what would be the purpose of a female? Like that's the answer. The question they're not answering. Like, what's the purpose of a female custodian that cannot be fulfilled with a male custodian, right?
Well.
Like if you
The-
go into low fantasy,
Hmm.
right? It's like, okay, well, the custody, like, if they make a female custody, are they gonna try to seduce the emperor and see if that emperor is a false emperor? Maybe
Hmm.
maybe don't, because they see him as a god, right? But he has like not to be worshipped as a god.
He's kind of dead.
Yeah, but before that, like, what were they trying to do? Were they trying to make that emperor have multiple heirs, children? What are they? What is the point
Okay.
of having something? Because you're introducing a whole gender, right?
Hmm.
And every gender has their weaknesses and strengths.
Hmm.
So if you're gonna make a character, you have to make it so compelling that it has to be a female,
Hmm.
because only a female is able to do this particular thing.
Okay.
Like, and in a general sense, not
Mhm.
not this character, this person is so smart, so strong, so it's fine. Like, no, because of her gender,
Hmm.
being a female, like, she needs to use this femininity or this certain aspect that men can never duplicate
Hmm.
to accomplish this specific goal.
Hmm.
Because that's the only way you can introduce that. If you can't answer that question, then you have no business introducing a character of a different gender into this story.
Hmm.
You know.
Okay. So the custodies were made from the remaining population of Earth.
Yes.
Earth was a dying planet, and there was already very little humans. So in theory, it makes sense that he wouldn't just take half of the population and genetically alter them. Because why would I take half if I can just take all of them and take genetic samples from them
Mhm.
to make my royal guard who have no feelings apart from serve me?
Yeah. Okay. So custodians are retarded.
Not necessarily. They don't have feelings.
Okay.
That's it. They're
Great.
just monotonous. They're
So,
a machine. They get
as
their purpose
any
done.
like, and that's the other thing. Like, is this emperor a genius or is he retarded? Because if he's smart, like, you just have to be a regular being. Like, okay, whoever is gonna protect me, no matter how much I experiment on them, men will always be stronger. If you're looking for muscle, that will always, that will be your guard to defend you from getting killed by your enemies, then you employ men. Now, if you want those to serve you, who you can overpower, those that work in your household, you'll usually
Mhm.
employ women. Now, the downside to that, high or low fantasy, is like the weapon of choice for women is poison. But if they don't have any feelings, great. You got your handmaidens, you got your whores, you got your the like your cleaning persons and all that stuff, and they're mainly gonna be women.
Mm-hmm.
Because if something happens or something goes wrong, you can still overpower them. You can still have the men take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that.
Mm.
So, like that would be the only reason for women to exist, like without feelings. Because that's the thing. Women's main strength is feelings, is being able to see things.
They're supposed
outside
to
of logic,
not have feelings. Like, yes, they have them, but it's like a very basic thing.
Yeah, like
It's
that.
more- it's
Well, the
kinda like-
emperor's number one, and then
Kinda like
and then
dogs.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much kind of like dogs.
Okay, so their loyalty's up there, but then like they'll do stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like
And like, no one alive at that point could
Mhm.
overpower a custody,
Yeah.
no matter what gender they would have been, because they were just regular humans, and a regular human is not about to be a 13-foot tall
Yeah.
human that was like super amped up. No, that's not happening.
well, okay, like going back to Star Wars from this conversation, like it's actually a good point because like the main problem as fans that we have isn't the fact that there's women characters,
Mm-hmm.
isn't the fact that you're introducing different characters. It's how you're presenting them.
Yeah, it's their shitty
Right.
introduction.
Like Captain Holdo, right? Like what was her purpose?
Who?
The purple chick, purple
I
hair.
didn't even
The
know
one that does
was.
the suicide bombing on
No,
West
yeah, I
Island.
know now.
Yeah, the Holdom or whatever. Like, what was her purpose, other than to belittle men and be a crappy leader? Like, if a woman and like they downgraded Leia from princess to general because I guess they wanted to be like more masculine or whatever. It's like, well, what's the reason of for these moves? You know, like you give us a reason, and it needs to be compelling,
Mhm.
but they weren't. You know, like one of the hit campaigns was they were talking about like Rose Tico, how everybody hated Rose Tico, and like because of them, you know, Kelly Marie Tran, you know, she got hate online. It's like, no, like, yeah, maybe a freak or weirdo would say like F you
Mm-hmm.
to an actor or actress, but nobody hated on the actress.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's nobody. Everybody said Rose Tico effing sucks. That's a garbage character. You guys made a worse character than Jar Jar Binks, which nobody thought was possible. And I don't mind Jar Jar Binks.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever to me. But yeah, but objectively, yeah, like I understand. And Rose Tico just sucks. She's an idiot,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they make Finn an idiot. They make Poe an idiot. They make everybody retarded. And so
Yeah.
Star Wars Explained and his wife, they were trying to do like rally.
So Star Wars Explained and his wife are also retarded.
Yes, they are also. No, but they were like they used that, and as part of it, and they confessed to that they've been trying to take down these channels since 2018, before Rise of Skywalker, and one of the reasons that they like really attacked Jeremy was because Jeremy talked about how I think it was South America. They took the Solo posters. They modified the Solo posters so Han Solo wasn't shooting a gun like this. He just had his hand behind his back like that, for gun friendly, or like they don't like countries that don't support guns. We're taking the gun off the poster, and it's like if somebody's a Han Solo fan, they want to see him blowing off some dude's head in a bar. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, it was his chest, but yeah.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean. You know, you want to see Han Solo kill some stuff,
Yeah.
and like obviously that movie's garbage, but
Some good came out of it. In my eyes. My eye.
I'd say some like the scenery and some of the
Oh no, I only talk about that 12-second part.
what,
The
12
Battle of Mimba.
Oh,
That's it.
and you just see blasters and like people die.
Well, I like their uniform too. I like the Imperial Army uniform. I think it's a lot better than the Legends uniform, which is just like the ATST uniform.
They used the same uniform. The Legends uniform like is just the progression.
No, the Legends uniform is just straight up the 1C.
No, because Legends usually showed them in combat scenarios.
Yeah, they didn't have any armor. Imperial Army Trooper? They didn't have any armor.
I have to look that up.
It was just like the ATST, pretty much the ATST uniform, but just like extra goggles, which is fucking retarded. Give me a little gas mask, a little goggle, a little badass. I like it. That's about it though.
Yeah, but like
And then the Chewbacca goggle.
yeah,
thing.
and that was a big thing. Like they edited freaking Finn out of the poster in China.
Yeah, they're not a big fan of black.
No, yeah,
people
and like
in
Star Wars
China.
explained, they were like, they're mad that like Jeremy and Star Wars Theory like called that out, and it's like, aren't you guys like all for this? Like, you need to support the blacks and whatnot, and then you see Disney do this, but that's the thing, they love money.
Who
right?
does?
Star Wars explained, because their whole thing, they contacted Star Wars Theory, being like, not like to like, hey, let's get together and support each other. Like, no, they contacted him to be like, how do we get to your level? How do we make as much money as you? Like, you scratch your back, I scratch mine, or you scratch mine. Well, pretty much, I scratch mine. Yeah, like, type deal. Like, they want to like some sort of deal where Star Wars Theory helps them instead of them like, hey man, awesome videos. Maybe we should do a collab someday. Talk about lore. I love Star Wars. That, something like that. And Star Wars Theory, I think a year or two ago, he had a charity stream, and he invited everybody. Any YouTuber can hop on. Like, all you have to do is message him, and then he'll put you on, right? No Star Wars of the Star Wars channels went on. Zero.
Why?
Maybe jealousy. Maybe some didn't see it. Like, I think Stupendous Wave is the most antisocial out of all of them. And Echoes Heart, like, I don't think he does live streams at all. Like, I don't even think he shows his face. He just does his thing. He's very good at lore, Echoes Heart.
Yeah, he does, but it's like a very like once blue moon, and like the actual definition of the saying. Because god damn, I'm pretty sure there's like 2 videos on that channel that have ever shown what he looks like.
I don't know what he looks like. So, like, I get those two, but everybody else, like, literally everybody else. And he's like, you know who did show up? Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers. And at the time, preface this, at the time, Nerdrotic did have issues with Star Wars Theory. He had the same issues that I had with Star Wars Theory, which was, like, I think Star Wars Theory wasn't calling out Disney enough.
Yeah.
He was being too nice. And I think that's why his growth stopped a little bit, like, not stopped, but like didn't keep progressing in the upward trajectory as it usually did.
So
Because it was like all the fans, all the fans were like, "Yo, dude, like I get that you love Star Wars, but stop saying like, yeah, Disney, you know, maybe they'll change this, like and stuff like,
maybe,
dude,
please, maybe.
like, nah, dude, this is freaking gay.
Prove me
Like,
right,
Disney's
please.
not doing nothing to fix this." And I think, and you know, late to the game, but he's in the game now.
Yeah.
Star Wars Theories understands that like Disney's never gonna get better.
Please, bro, prove me right.
Like,
Please prove me right.
Yeah, like we got what we got, Legends, and that's it. And then fans who can make fan fiction and content. That's it. So
Yeah, I'll be making Rule 30. Oh my god, I got it one time, completely out of topic, but one time I got into an argument with somebody in a comment section on Instagram, right? It all started with me, because he had the shittiest take on this one video, right? And I was like, hey pal, you just flying from stupid town? That's all I said. And he came at me talking about some, oh, you piece of art, I bet you spend all day inside your house beating your dick to Star Wars Rule 34. And I was like, how do you get all this from my profile picture, which at the time was just the Stormtrooper helmet for my costume? What does the helmet say? Yeah, this guy definitely beats the shit out of his dick to Star Wars porn. Yeah, that's the
I
one.
love that meme. Like when everybody told me that beating your dick was awesome, and so then I punched my nuts as hard as I could and ended up in the hospital.
Dude,
What?
I was like, because I was like, okay, that had nothing to do with what we were arguing about, but thanks, I guess. You're just proving me right.
Dude, there was one time this guy. So there was a picture of the Star Wars characters like Han, Luke, and Leia, all old and stuff with Chewbacca, C-3PO, Lando, but they were all in Star Trek uniforms, right? And everybody's like, "Oh Lord, like don't do this or whatever." And I'm like, "Still more accurate than Disney Star Wars." And that's what I put. Dude, people got pissed. This one dude went into my DMs and was like, "The fuck, blah, blah." And I was like being super courteous. I'm like, I remember my wife was like reading a book on the bed or whatever, and I go and like, yeah, check this out. And then I spent like an hour talking to him because I'm like, I got nothing better to do, and this is fun for me. So I'm like, I'm being super courteous. He's like cussing me out and everything, and it's like, yeah, the fuck, like explain this, man. Like, and I don't understand some Star Wars fans, especially the older ones, like, oh, explain this line from Return of the Jedi, where you're my sister, and he's like, I know, somehow I've always known, and then they're like, oh, that's weird, like George didn't think that one through. I'm like, or maybe he did, because this guy watched a lot of soap operas, and he wanted to be, he even said this is soap opera in space, and so I explained it. I'm like, this is like, if you us being Latino, we understand novellas, right? So I'm like, this is exactly what he's trying to explain. Is like that she understood. She didn't know what it was until now, but she always knew that there was a connection more with Luke than anybody else. Something, but nobody's drawn conclusions. Like, this guy's from one planet, this guy's from another planet. I just met him. I don't even know his name, and I kissed him for luck, and then I kissed him to make Han Solo jealous. Like, I'm thinking he might be my brother. Like, nobody knew. Not even Luke. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Not even Vader knew they were alive at the time. What? So you think you're gonna draw that conclusion? No, it's like she's saying that as a way of like that line meaning something more than just like, oh yeah, I like, it's not an explicit line. It's a line saying like, somehow I've always known that there was something between us. You know, but we don't have to, like, we're not retarded. We could decipher that thing, right? And he's like, oh, that's copium or whatever. And I'm like, sure, man, like whatever you say. And then like we're just messaging back and forth, and he's just like, every time I want to be like, F you, fake, you know, whatever. I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna be nice and courteous and like, yo, man, this is why it's so important. This is why this story sucks. The Last Jedi sucks. Blah 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 blah. And then like at the end of it, I was still ready to like keep commenting, but like he had no more bullets in his chamber, right? And he's like, no, man, I think this was a great conversation. It was very courteous. I'm like, courteous? Like, dude, I have to find this whole conversation and send it to him. Like, the F you mean? I was being courteous. You were cussing me out, calling me a bit of whatever, like every name under the sun, and then like Sam wasn't a real Star Wars fan. I'm like, I know more than you. I actually went to theaters when Phantom Menace came out, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. I was there. All right.
That kind of just proves you're old, though.
Not that old. I also watched the despecialized editions and the specialized editions. I've watched so much stuff. I watched a ton of Star Wars.
I love how they put a break in your not that old.
What?
I love how they put a break in your rant. Not that old.
Not that old. Yeah, but so like, and that like conversation reminds me of Star Wars Explained, because Star Wars Explained is one of those YouTubers that like, they didn't read the book. They looked up the lore and they make videos on it. And I think people are starting to see that. Like, they haven't been growing for a while, and like they got a great name. Oh, that was another point of theirs. He was like, Star Wars Theory was kind of eavesdropping on a conversation with there was this one major douchebag called Hello Greedo, one of the worst Star Wars channels ever. And they were having a conversation like, yeah, some of our like some people in our sphere use our name for their videos, and it just kind of hurts us. So we're trying to see if we could like come up with something different. I'm like, because people say like Palpatine, Star Wars explained Palpatine's rise or something like that. Something explaining something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, that's free publicity for you. They're putting your name in their thumbnail because they like you chose a bomb name that some people cannot get around your name, and they have to put it in their thumbnail, and then they're gonna automatically think it's your channel, and maybe they might even move over to your channel and see what you got to explain.
Yeah, yeah.
But they looked at it like as a negative, because that's the thing. They didn't want anybody to grow. They want people to grow as long as they didn't pass them, right? Like, you've met some people in your life like that. Like, they're encouraging you on, but as soon as you start getting a little bit better than they are doing,
Yeah.
you know, like, I remember some conversation about some family members, you feel me? That, like, you know, they
Yeah.
see that you're doing better than them, that of what they were doing at your age and stuff like that. And like, oh, slow down, boy.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, just because I'm doing this a little bit better, now you pissed? You don't want to be friends no more?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that kind of bull crap. And it's like with all my problems with Star Wars theory, I'm not saying but like that I've had Star Wars theory in the past. Like, he's still a guy that if we hung out, I would have a good time.
Yeah.
We'd have a good time, and we can still go. We could discuss something, contradict each other, you know, not agree with certain things, and still have a ton of fun.
I agree.
Right?
I totally agree.
Because like that's how he made his channel, which is like, hey, look, I made these theories, but they're theories.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the channel's called Star Wars Theory. It's not a theory's not accurate. A theory's just a possibility.
Yeah.
You know, that something might turn out this particular way or something around this way,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, like, yeah, it makes sense. Cool. But, you know, you're like these guys. Him and his wife don't understand grouping together, and like their love for money has blinded them. Because guess who follows them? Oh, the official Star Wars channel, Lucasfilm. They are Disney shills. They're like all about the acolyte. They're stroking that dick, dude. Like, or I guess like Leslie Helen's a lesbian, so that they're flicking that bean, dog. The acolyte bean.
They're rowing the canoe.
They're rowing the canoe. Ugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's gonna carry Disney's boats, it's definitely gonna be that.
Who's gonna carry the boats? that little boy right there.
That guy right there.
That little skinny one in the Leia outfit.
The queer looking feller over there.
Dude, I was thinking like if ever possible, I would love to make a Star Wars channel, grow it bigger than Star Wars Explained, just for the hell of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then challenge the dude to an MMA fight. Be like, hey man, how about this? If I win this fight, you leave YouTube completely. You start being nice to everybody. Or even if you don't want, you just have to close this channel and start a new one. Start fresh. And then, if you win, I will never do YouTube ever again.
Ever, no matter what channel.
No matter what channel. I know how to work. I could work at McDonald's, Walmart. I got work ethic. It don't matter to me. You know? As long as I can pay my bills, put some food on the table, I'm cool. But nah. I'm like, alright, you never talk bad about anybody ever again. And then I just get a beat on. I don't even care if I win, I just get to see him bleed. Oh, also that's another thing. When Disney or not Disney, YouTube responded back, they put up actual death threats of like, oh, me if I ever see the Disney CEO, and it's like Pulp Fiction, like execution style, like, and it's like, dude, that's a threat.
Wait, who put that up?
Like Star Wars Explained, maybe not Star Wars Explained, but like people who were trying to take down the people's channels and stuff. Like that's a threat. You guys should not be posting that. Like you can go to jail for a very long time. This isn't about just getting your channel taken out. You're gonna go to jail and you're not gonna be able to handle it.
It's like
You're not gonna be you ever been someone's bit? You ever been?
It's like the time.
You ever made your you ever taken a dump bigger than this?
It's like every time fucking Elon Musk when he was gonna have that fight with Mark.
Which Mark backed out. Elon Musk was training for it.
It was so funny, like the whole fucking memes. It's like me when I find Elon Musk out in public. It's a long live Zuckerberg, and it's the clip of the dude blowing himself. And he kept getting his fucking DMs
Long
flooded
live
with that.
Zuckerberg.
Props to him, I guess. I thought Elon was the one who backed out.
No. Elon actually went on a podcast like, no, Zuckerberg backed out. I'm ready.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, Zuck. Okay, Zucks. Where you going, man? Like,
So-
come get this butt whooping.
The Terminator versus the Lizard Man. Dude, that would have been the fight of the century, man.
No. Zuckerberg is the xenomorph, and Elon is the predator.
Dude, that would have been the fight of the century.
Have you ever seen Here Comes the Boom?
Yeah.
So where like he comes out in like the freaking Metal Gear outfit and put that on them when they come out, see each other, and take them off before they fight.
Yeah, dude.
Paint Zuckerberg green.
Give him like little
Zuckerberg.
lizard scales.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was so awesome.
Fight queers.
Dude, that shit would have been so awesome. I would have loved that fight.
Dude, I would have watched it. Man, that was great.
That would have been the only fight I would have ever actually like paid money to see.
Oh, I wouldn't have paid for it. I would have found somebody.
I would have paid for it.
I mean, I paid for that stuff.
Hell no.
I would have gone to B-Dubs. Buffalo Wild Wings. It would have definitely been Buffalo Wild
It's
Wings.
Zuckerberg and Elon. I'm paying for that bitch to watch it in
No,
my TV.
dude.
4K.
You gotta go to
surround
Buffalo
sound.
Wild Wings at the bar. You get yourself some wings. Watch the.
Fuck that. I'm picking up the wings before the damn fight happens. I'm watching that bitch. 8K surround sound. I don't give a damn. I'm watching that bitch. I want to hear every single hit.
If it
land.
does happen, I'm going to your house.
I want to hit every single hit.
You just hear like squishes of lizard, like.
He start like growling at Elon.
Ran.
Oh my god! You know the fight in Split.
Oh
Where
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
I get
yeah.
the Beast and the other dude. It's pretty much gonna be that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
It should have been so awesome.
Facts. But yeah, dude, like these, like, dude, what's the point of all this YouTube drama? Like, come on, man.
It gets people views, man.
It's not even about views. They're literally trying to take them down. No, they want them permanently gone. Like, where YouTube makes sure that these people cannot come back. Like, you're messing with people's livelihood, man. You don't do that. Dude, some people don't take this lightly.
Yeah.
Luckily, you picked, like, Neurotic's already been to jail, but he came out reformed, where he's like, I don't want to go back in there, so I'm not gonna do anything. You know, he went in there for drugs, right? Like
Drug possession.
He had a relapse at one point, and he's been sober for a long time.
Yeah.
So like, he's not gonna do any violent crimes, but he got to witness a lot of crazy stuff. He talks about it in his streams. So Gary doesn't want to go back, right?
Uh-huh.
But there's gonna be someday where they're gonna call somebody out, and they're not gonna know how to fight back on the demonetization stuff, and they're gonna find out where you live, and they're gonna come for you, and they don't care about going to jail. They don't care if the cops kill them. They're there for you, brother. Like, those people exist. Like, just have them go out against a Brazilian dude. Like, they're done. They will fly over here
Dude,
and figure out where you live.
see, it did it again.
What? Yeah, dude, that was happening on my stream. I'm like, who's giving me a like?
I don't know.
Oh, because you're doing this?
Yeah. It's like supposed to take it, but it won't do it. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah. So that's gonna get clipped.
In Los Angeles, we had this big motherfucker. His name was Big Mike, and when a new inmate got transferred in, his name was Star Wars Explained. You know, he Big
Took
Mike
a like and
I took a like to it. And Big
a
Mike
like
went
and
to the guard and said, "Hey, you know, we did some time back in whatever other cell, so you can transfer him with me." And so every night, Big Mike would go in there and start busting cheeks. Big Mike he would go out in the morning, go work out, and he'd come back home. His cell was clean. He had food made. He had a bitch home. He'd be busting cheeks.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love that video.
Mr. Explained, Sir Explained. You're gonna get your booty handed to you, brother. You gotta stop.
Yeah.
Someone gonna fight you. And you think like, oh, I'll just sue. Dude, try suing with broken hands and a beat up jugular.
If you can't talk, you can't really sue. I guess his wife could. But what if she can't?
Also, that's the other thing. Some people don't care. Like, their hands don't discriminate, man.
Yeah.
It's all about equality nowadays.
Especially anywhere that is in the West.
Like, it's just, look, I don't even like you, but it's advice. I don't want to see people get hurt. All right? You start messing with people's livelihood, you're going to get hurt, man. Like, some of these people use this money to feed their families, take care of their home, pay their mortgages. If that's taken away and you're the cause of it, there will be a solution that you're not going to like. Like, dude, like you can turn the most sane man into a lunatic if you take away his livelihood. Don't stop doing this stuff. It's some bull, man. Relax. Like, nobody likes you anyway because you're not authentic. But it's not too late. Like, there's hope for everybody. Like, why don't you just be more authentic? Go see a therapist. Look at your ways. Maybe get a divorce. See what you're doing wrong. And then, like, just have a turnaround, man. Like, this could be a chapter of your life that's over. Like, this effed up chapter that you created. End the chapter. Move on to the next chapter. Effed up. Now grow from it. It's not too late, dude. Don't be the old guy that's like, man, I could have been friends with this guy or that guy, and I could have had a more happy life instead of being jealous and being crazy and trying to hurt people. Or the third option is you're in a wheelchair eating from a straw for the rest of your life.
At the very minimum, 6 months.
Nah, I make it a life.
Why could I make a life if I could take his life from him?
Why would I create a life if I could just take his life?
If I could just take his life from him. Not that I would. But that Puerto Rican and Mexican.
You always want to bring that up. Just,
dude. Crazy fucking thing.
Yeah, man. If you ever watch this damn video. Here's when I worked at Valley Fairmont GNC. Again, for like the 5th time. This guy loves this damn story.
This is fucking crazy.
Where, like, I'm just chilling there, putting the drinks away, right next to the door where people can come in.
And you keep adding details that weren't in the one that you told previously. So it's
well, like the more I tell it, the more I can remember.
Yeah. So now
By
I gotta
the way,
get, like,
there was like families walking in that they were just like on strollers and everything, and like it's almost like it didn't faze them either. You're like, oh.
Again.
Like, not again. Mijo, no.
Dude, it's like
Viene para acá, por favor.
that's why I want you to keep retelling it, because eventually I'll get the entire fucking thing.
Well, okay, like, let me see what details. It was a bright sunny day. No, it was like close to ending shift, so it was dark outside, but like, it's like lights in here, like fluorescent lights, you know, whatever. But the gate thing, I have to like reach up like that. I'm fully exposed and bring down the cage and lock it on the floor, right? So like I'm there, I'm hunched over, putting the drinks, and I see him. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. I was about to say like, hey guys, like kind of like draw them into the store, but I was looking around. These are some untimely characters, and I'm just like, I'm putting the drinks in, and then they just look at each other like. Both of them just like, dude, it barely looked like a stabbing because it was like they were like, just like, and I'm just like, oh, like I couldn't yell audibly. I was like, oh, and then like it starts off slowly, so it's like, cha, 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 cha. And then I just like, F this, and I just slam it. I'm turning off the lights, going in the back, like, nah, F this. Freaking Mexican Puerto Ricans, man. Like, come on, dude. Just leave each other alone. All you did was look at each other and like, man, back.
Oh, that story will never not kill me, man. Oh, it's just like the nonchalant nature of it.
Yeah, because it was just like, it wasn't even like a head nod. Like, it was just like,
Oh,
like, and that's the other thing. Like, they didn't insult each other after another. I'm like, F you, like, they're just like, and they started running. He just took off. And then I hear the police report because the officer came and talked to me. Like, it happened right outside your store. I'm like, yeah, it happened. Like, I was standing here and they were right there.
uh-huh.
That's how close it happened. So you saw it. I'm like, brother, if I didn't see it, I'd be dead because I would have invited them to do it in the store. Like, that's insane. So I told the cop, I'm like, yeah, I saw him. Like, so what happened? They died? I was like, no. They literally ran in two different directions, and we found them like a few miles down the road. Like, they got miles away. And that's another thing. It's like, if you like trust like the police, like, oh, I don't do guns, so the police will get there if there's an intruder. They're gonna take like their sweet damn time. They're gonna get there in 45 minutes after they've cut you open and utilized your body for various reasons, brother. Yeah, I found out we can't say like rape and stuff.
Yeah.
Can't say certain things on YouTube.
I
But,
was already aware of that.
My bad. They graped people.
Yeah.
They
That's what people
they
use.
fertilized them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna fertilize. Like, dude, yeah, like, get a gun.
If you can get it.
This is not advice. I'm just saying.
Unless you live in California. In California, you're fucked either way.
Just kill yourself. Oh, I mean, off yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
you can't say kill.
Yeah, I know.
Let me say other words you can't say, just so we remember.
Exterminate.
Terminate.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad. I think he said it while he was in here in the store. he was like, I had such bad constipation the other day, and my mom was here, and my mom died laughing. And he's like, I'm like, what? What'd you do? Like, didn't want to go to the hospital. I'm like, it wasn't coming out. I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, put my finger back there and I hooked it out. And then I'm like, what? And then he's like, and then he like paused for a sec. Oh my gosh, I molested myself.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh!
I hooked it out.
Dude, like, when you have kids, man, when they get constipated, they could die. Like, dude, my son, when he was constipated, I bent him over and used one of those cotton swab things. And it was so freaking hard, and I just kind of, like, put it and, like, pull it out like that. Like, I felt, it was so sad. He was, like, 3. Dude, he was crying. It was in the middle of the night. He just woke up crying, like, his butt hurt and everything. And then I was like, oh, there's, like, a bump. So go to the toilet, put his pants down, like, see what's going on, like, if my son's okay. Yeah, dude, the poop wasn't coming out, and like I had to bend him on his stomach, that on the knees, so that like it would come out, because it was bad. Mm-hmm. And like, man, I've never been constipated that bad, and it was a lot. Like, when it fell, it was like an anchor from a ship, just boom. There was no flotation device there. It was just boom.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh, and then like finally, and then I just held him for a little bit. And it was like, and I put some cream, like, to make sure it doesn't
Oh,
chafe
no,
and
his
all that.
ass was relieved after that bitch.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah, but weight lifted up his shoulders.
dude, he starfish fell asleep, like. Not the bad,
I'm
like,
surprised he ain't died from the
yeah,
shock.
so then like, but the good thing that came out of it was like we were able to teach him where he got it. Like, you have to poop before going to bed. When you feel it, you have to eat like your fibery stuff and stuff like that. Eat a little bit more bananas, blah blah blah.
Oh my god.
So then like he's like it was good because like he learned
That reminds me.
through the pain.
There's this Reddit story, right? Dude trying to lose weight. He learns about these fiber pills, right? So he starts taking them.
Oh, I have a story for
And for a while, he says he's not going to poop. And one day his stomach just really fucking hurt, right? So he sits in the bathroom. And apparently, from his own testimony, he sat in the bathroom for 4 hours without anything coming out. And in one of those, he pushed so hard that he blacked out. And then immediately woke back up to like this one singular little pebble that came out of his ass, and then just a fucking rancid fart before the storm.
Oh, I have
Just
two
sprayed
I have two stories.
everywhere.
Oh.
And apparently you have to clean it up. Just everywhere. And apparently, after he weighed himself, after doing all that and cleaning it up, he weighed like 5 pounds less.
So yeah, like doctors have said, like you gotta fart. It's healthy for you. My sister once, my little sister, went to the doctor. Couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. She had these stomach pains like crazy, and then the doctor was like, "You're packed up. You have gas." I'm like, what? And then I just looked at her. I'm like, "We came to the hospital because you refused to fart." I wasted my Saturday here.
Mm.
And then it's like, all right, I'm gonna give you this, and you're gonna fart. Like, it's okay. You're gonna pass gas. And I just look at you're gonna fart. It's gonna suck. And then like the nurse just looked at me like, "You're the brother, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." Understood. And dude, she just like just kept going, and she's just like, and I feel better. But here's a worse story. So in Brazil, my grandpa had this friend. He's super constipated. He's like, "Man, I can't like freaking like poop, man." And my grandpa was like, "Oh, I heard about this thing that can help you poop." I was like, "Yeah, what is it?" "It's Pepto-Bismol, which makes it harder." He gives him the whole bottle, and the guy drinks it like it's freaking soda can. And then he's like, "All right." Doesn't see him for like a week. Comes, like, week passes. Slamming on the door. My grandpa's name is Juva. "Juva!" I'm like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "Dude, what?" It's like, "You gave me that thing. I almost died, man. What the hell was that?" And he's like, "This will help you poop." It made it harder, dude. Like, I was freaking. It was like I was pooping charcoal, and it ripped. Like I was dying. There's blood everywhere. And he's like, and he just does this. Oops. "Yeah, you okay now?" Like, "Yeah, I'm better now." Yeah.
Charcoal?
I have another story. I knew this Samoan dude, right? We were in the what's called the missionary training center to go on our church service missions, right?
Mm-hmm.
This dude, Samoan, like straight out of the island.
Mm-hmm.
Never had American food. Just chows down. It was like pizza, whatever. Just freaking going hard. Like a lot, dude. Like you've never seen another human eat like this.
Mm.
It was like imagine eating like 2 large pizzas, ice cream, like just the works, just freaking ham. Like, oh, this is so good. Ugh. Well, fast forward 2 hours later, he's in the bathroom and he's in nom, dude. Just, he pooped he had to be sent home. He had to go by ambulance because the poop was so thick and so big it ripped his butthole, like down to his gooch. Just, and he left it at the hospital, but it was kind of funny because they couldn't cover up his butt, and he had to lay on his stomach, so he's just like there on the gurney, and just like bare booty out just to get some fresh air. And yeah, like it was like that was horrific. I was like, I didn't know buttholes could do that. I thought they just stretch.
Yeah,
It was just like freaking.
Yeah, because what? They only stretch through like 4 or 5 inches in diameter. And after that, yeah, you're done, bro. You're about to lose that entire backside. You're about to have a bigger crack.
Yeah, I remember that Star Wars explained. What's his name? Anthony or something?
Alex, I think.
Alex. You whore. You money whore. Yeah, remember, it does say in the Bible, the love, not money, the love for money is the root of all evil. So you'll do anything for money. Crack whore. I'll offer $1 million to fight this guy.
Okay.
I don't even want to win. I just want to see him bleed.
I don't even want to win.
Just want to see a fool lose a tooth, man.
That's fair.
Gonna mess up his smile for the rest of his life. It's a good day.
I guess so.
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty messed up what's been happening. Like you don't even have to like those YouTubers, but again, some of it's their livelihood. They employ people. Some of them work for, like, they've created actual companies from their YouTube channel, and you're trying to like destroy that. Like, what are you getting from it, man? Like,
yeah.
Like if anything, it's healthy. If you think they're wrong, it's healthy competition for you. You can contradict them. You can make your own videos, have a back and forth. It's just extra content, brother.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point of taking somebody's channel. Like, I wish free speech was actual free speech. Like, you can say whatever the freak you want, whatever the hell you want to say. You want to say some racial slurs, whatever. And like, it should be up to the people to want to subscribe or not subscribe to, watch your videos or not watch your videos. You know, like, it should be free. Like, you want to say hate speech, go ahead, say hate speech. You know, you're gonna attract a strange crowd, but like, you're gonna attract whatever you put out.
Yeah.
And if you don't put out anything good, then you're not gonna get anything good. You know, like, one cool thing about the show Friday Night Tights, hosted by Nerdwadi, they get a lot of super chats, right? But that's because that's like if you think about their channels, most of it is actual news, like nerd news, proper nerd news, right? Which isn't always entertaining, because you're like, I'm kind of sick of all the.
Yeah.
It's like watching the news at home. Like, there's a lot of negativity and whatnot, and so you're like, well, I know it's gonna be negative, and I know something's gonna suck, but whatever. But the thing is, they're funny.
Yeah.
Because they're authentic, they're personalities, people that are going there. They also have a host, they have a host plus they have a guest.
Yeah.
So different perspectives. So they're riffing off each other like that, and they have topics, but most of the time it's random, and they actually talk to the chat. They talk, so people give them super chats. So they make a lot of money from super chats in a good way. And I'm not saying a lot, like millions, but they make like a good amount versus other streams that have the same amount of views, like viewership on that stream, but they're not donating. And these people want to donate. Like, I donated to them once because I was so entertained by them. I wanted to reward them for their entertainment. You know, the entertainment that they brought me, the joy that they're bringing me, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're genuine, authentic, and you're worried about money, which I understand, money is a real worry.
Yeah.
But if you're like more of like, I want to make so much freaking money, like I just can't get enough of money, then you're F you. But if you're like Stars explained, like, you got a great name for a channel, you got a good base, and you, like, if you want to attract the people that are willing to donate, to support you, it has to come from them. And you have to pave the way of like, I am this type of person, and I just want to give back to you guys. They'll give back in return, because whatever you give, you get back twice as much.
Yeah.
So give more. Just don't even like. I understand the phrase "give more than what you take," but just give completely, and you'll receive. You don't even have to take. You'll just keep receiving.
Yeah.
So like, make good content, man, and then just speak for itself. What the hell? So like, I don't get it, man. Like, I get competition, but this ain't competition. This is hate. Like, you don't have to like any of the YouTubers we listed. You really don't. But there's no point of hating them.
Yeah.
Oh, Critical Drinker was also on that list too, because they hate on the Acolyte.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. It's like, dude, F you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, are you mad that Critical Drinker got an interview with Russell Crowe, with the some top directors and producers from Hollywood, and he's making his own movie from a novel he wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you mad about that? You're mad because a guy put in the work and has some views different than yours because you like something and he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just petty, man. Like, Star Wars Explained doesn't want to put all that work
Yeah.
to gain the money. You have to deserve that money first. Even when you deserve it, doesn't mean you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
But you gotta deserve this stuff first,
Mm-hmm.
and then you gotta fight to get it.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't just like a game that you think like, oh, this should be easy. I got a camera, I got a mic, I got, editing skills. So whatever I put out, like, people need to see that it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It's like, no, dude. Some people are gonna see some things, some people are not. Some people are gonna be able to see the magic that you put into it, and some people are not. Now, if you didn't put any magic into it, you might trick some people, but for a short time,
Yeah.
and then you're always gonna get random fans. You're never gonna get any loyal ones.
Mm-hmm.
That are gonna go to every meetup, every con, go, like, be there every stream, watch every video.
Yeah.
Like, cause fans aren't like they're not these people that see an actor and like fanboy, like, oh my gosh, it's this actor or whatever. No, fans are somebody who's like, I like you because of what you do. Hi, my name is this. Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Just a normal person talking to another person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I work in construction. You do YouTube. I'm here to thank you because you might not see my work of construction, but I do see your work. So I thank you for your work because it does make my life more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, there's been a lot of times where I've watched a YouTube video, and like, it kind of took me out of, like, not depression, but like just a bad day or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So
Just
this,
brighten
like,
up the mood.
like this Star Wars Explained, I think he doesn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to hate on all these people just making hello chat, dead user, nice. So he's making, they're doing this whole like hate campaign against all these YouTubers that he just doesn't like, not because they were mean to him, not because they like hated on him. He's just doing it because he feels threatened.
Yeah.
Because they're doing a better job, they're more authentic than he is. And
Pretty much.
And his ugly, nasty wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like, F you, man. Like, just do a good job. Again, like I said, end the chapter. It's not too late. Become a better person. Realize your mistakes. Maybe go to therapy. Maybe get a divorce because she's ugly and she seems like a terrible person. Because she's making you like a freaking bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, just fix your life, man. And then be nice. Like, apologize. Not everybody's gonna forgive you. People are still gonna hate you, but man up and just move on.
And whether he apologizes or not, people are still gonna call him a bitch, regardless.
Yeah, dude. Like, some stuff will stick with you forever, no matter how much you already like paid your dues and stuff like that. Some people will never forget, and that's fine. Like, all you could do is work on yourself, but like, man, like, you're just hating on stuff.
Yeah.
You're hating to be hateful. Like, these other YouTubers, people like us who hated the act, like, we didn't hate it to hate it. We want Star Wars to be good.
Mm-hmm.
We want Marvel to do well.
Yeah.
Like, I hate Disney, but I don't want it to fail. Like, you might not like the current president, but it would be a stupid idea to think that, like, you hope they fail, because then the country fails.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it sucks when they fail. Like, yeah, Joe Biden's an idiot, but I don't want the country to fail, you know?
He's just really old.
Yeah.
It's not even that the dude is like
we both come from a country where, like, our governments failed us, and, like, the people suffered.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like, there's this thing, like, just stop. Like, if you're going to hate something, have an objective opinion.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's warranted. The hate is warranted.
Like
like the Puerto Rican dude. If somebody stabbed you, yeah, maybe you have the right to hate him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not hold a grudge. It's gonna kill you. You know, you're gonna spend your energy on your days on that. But like, damn fool, like don't just hate on somebody just because they're doing better than you
Hmm.
and they have a different opinion. That's insane to me. Like, just because people think differently than you, you're like, I guess it's like the basis of racism. Like, just
Yeah.
because they are different than you in a way that you don't like, then they're just terrible people.
Actually, yeah, that is the basis of it. But who am
Yeah,
I
but
to tell?
racism is hilarious.
Not real racism.
Not real. Okay, yeah, duh.
Joking racism.
Yeah,
is
well, like
fun.
when we talk about real racism, we know what is real. That's like getting stabbed because you look different. That's somebody setting you on fire because you look, going after your family because you look different.
Yeah.
Like killing a family member because like I think a lot of people don't know like what is real. Like words are words, man. Okay, from first-hand experience, I could tell you at the very least, getting punched in the face hurts more than getting called a name. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from not only mine but other friends' experience, getting stabbed is way worse than somebody calling you a slur.
Yeah.
But fool, like, man, Star Wars Explained, dude, what the freak, man?
I'm gonna take a quick break to piss because like it's killing me right now.
Dude, bring back my Powerade. Oh, in the back of my backpack, there's my cell phone. The Lego one, please.
Oh yeah. Alright.
Yeah, because I need to look up this bit. Yeah. Dead User. Pretty good name, dude. Ugh. But yeah, so. But upcoming for the Star Wars talk we're gonna have, it isn't just gonna be this weird little drama, and it again, stop messing with people's livelihood. Like, YouTubers, it isn't. It's a privileged job, I get it, but YouTubers don't have it easy per se. Like, they still have to build that up. It is a business. You have to be consistent. You have to be on top of it. Like, we're doing this for fun. Hopefully, it could turn into something that'd be great. You know, it's a goal, but our goal is to just be as entertaining as possible, and do our own thing in the way that we see fit. And if people like it, great. If people don't like it, it's okay. You know, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be like these fools online that are like, oh, if you do better than me, then that's not okay. Like, nah, man, I want people to see surpass. Like, a great sport is strongman. Probably, other than Hafthor Bjornsson, some of the best athletes with the most sportsmanship there is, because even if they fail a lift, which is crazy weight, or they didn't get the proper technique, they want to win, but they still want to see other people attempt and complete the lift. They want to see somebody lift 1,000-pound deadlift, so that they can even surpass that. Like, if they couldn't do it today, they'll be able to do it after somebody else does it. They don't want to see the others fail, but they still want to win. Like, the sportsmanship is crazy. So it's great in that sense, right? You know, like, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like a good month now, and I did a tiny bit before, but I try to pick every opponent I go against in when we're rolling and in training and stuff. Like, I always, they're always better than me, for sure, and it's gonna make me grow. It's uncomfortable. It hurts. They sometimes freaking just completely ragdoll me, just ruin me, and you know, like, I'm learning, so I get some things in. I won't say it's complete luck, but you know, I'm working on it, and I don't want to see them fail. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to pick a weak opponent. I want progression. I want all of us to grow. Because then, like, it's sharpening the tool, man. We just keep going. You just, like, if you grow, I grow, and then, like, if we keep doing that, we'll just propel up to the freaking universe. But man, this Star Wars Explained, dude, and these other people who are trying to false flag, and again, they've been false flagging for like 6 years. Or at least flagging people's videos for 6 years, trying to get YouTube to permanently remove them off the platform completely, forever. And then there's these other freaks that do death threats. Like, that's insane. People, people think you can hide behind a computer, a keyboard. That's not how it is. Like maybe it was back when like there was blogs and forums, back when the internet first started, where like people couldn't figure out where you were.
What Gatorade?
Powerade, it's in the freezer.
Oh, it's in the freezer.
Yeah. So like maybe back then, but now no. Like they can figure out where you live, man. Like you're making a death threat against the CEO of freaking YouTube, like imagine me going to my boss and being like, I'm gonna kill you because you didn't do what I wanted you to do. That's insane.
I'd do it.
You've done it.
That was different though. That was different.
It's because it was witchcraft.
Yeah, that was different circumstances.
Parrot, you want some?
Okay.
Sure. It's blue.
Yes.
Look, it's blue.
Yeah. So is the ocean, and that's not good for you.
Ocean isn't blue. The sky is blue. It's a reflection. Water is clear. Have you ever picked up blue water? No, you haven't.
Yeah,
Go
see?
to the ocean. No, no, F you. F you ain't go mama. But yeah. Again, as we all know, Star Wars is dead. And Star Wars Explained is about to be dead. Not literally. You know, like dreams don't come true that quick, you know. But but like, and that's a joke. But like I would say new Star Wars is dead. Star Wars I think will keep on living. The legends, George Lucas. Like if okay, James Earl Jones just passed away, right? So if George Lucas passed away now, we all know that Disney most likely will retcon everything and redo the original trilogy, redo the prequels with different actors, different story, right? Now be their Star Wars. But it would just solidify more like, hey, maybe we couldn't get an interview with George. Maybe we couldn't get his like true opinions, but we can see how he felt about it. When in that interview with like the junior high kids where his wife gripped his hand like for support, where he's like, look, 1 through 6, those are mine. Disney stuff, that's their thing. That wasn't the route I was taking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said. And the other stories he approved of. These news stories, he's not approving this. Like, oh, he showed up on the set of Mandalorian, so he loves this stuff. Like, no, he was invited. There was pictures taken, and he might have given some advice and might have talked and maybe liked some things. It's great. Like, I think the Mandalorian sucks, but I do like some things about it, as we all do. Like, I don't think anybody hates the Mandalorian completely, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, it's not hard to hate it completely, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of good stuff in there that you can take a lot from, and there's a lot that you should take away from, but not for good reasons. But yeah, it's just one of those series that kind of was supposed to revive that magic and ended up not.
Lasted a whole season. Razor Crest.
Season and a half.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And my argument was always that Jawas, when they took it apart, they should have had the Naboo fighter as a loner. And then that was like the rest of the season and a half ship until they fixed that one back up. Because there's no way you can fix this thing up in an afternoon after you stripped it down to only its frame.
What was so funny about that?
That was like, insane.
The Jawas were literally willing to help him put it back together for food. He killed a few of them right before that whole deal went down.
Like,
and
dude,
he was threatening to kill even more.
We're just hungry, man.
And he was about to kill even more if it wasn't for Quill. I also think it was kind of stupid to kill him off that quick.
Quill?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like kind of the heart of the show a little bit for a minute.
Like he could have done a lot with IG-11.
Dude, if they just had good writing, they could have done a lot with the show itself.
Yeah.
And I don't ever see Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. I know we got his helmet removed. I know season 2 we saw him without his helmet.
I see him as the Red Viper of Dorne.
Yeah, you murdered her. You killed her. Yeah, like, dude, And now he's gonna be Mr. Fantastic. What the hell? What kind of casting is that?
He's Joel from
Dude, I gotta
Last
meet
of
his
Us.
agent, man. He must
Killer.
know the shade of
Killer.
everyone's dick in Hollywood.
Killer.
Yeah, dude. Like, you keep getting jobs that you absolutely do not deserve. Like, freaking project after project that you have no business being a part of.
I did an okay job as Joel. Okay.
Yeah, nobody cares.
That show was giant for HBO.
It was not. It was not giant for HBO because of Neil Druckmann.
Who the
I
hell's
might
that?
Neil Druckmann's the one that was part of the video games and part of the show. So he like wrote the video games. He's the one that like baited everybody for The Last of Us Part 2, that Joel was gonna be a big thing, and then they kill him off in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
just so you could play this freaking transvestite chick
Mm-hmm.
that's just beefed up out of her mind, and it just looks like two dudes effing, and it's just a garbage game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a pretty like nobody wants to watch it. Again, actually, Geeks and Gamers was one of the reasons why nobody likes Neil Druckmann. Neil Druckmann was trying to take everybody's channel down who talked bad about Last of Us Part 2.
I didn't even know.
I remember this like vividly, and like it didn't do well. Like, now, some reviewers that I completely trust, they talk about how it was actually really great, like the show and some aspects. I don't know about the whole show,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like, yeah, I was gonna watch it until a friend of mine was like, dude, there's like some hardcore gay makeout scenes, and I'm like, not watching that. He's like, and then like the next episode, there's like 3 episodes of gay sex scenes, and I'm like, like, isn't this supposed to be like zombie apocalypse type deal? And then they're like, yeah, but you get to watch dick and butt first, because that's important to the story.
And it's weird because I remember those 2 characters that I think your friend was talking about. Barely in like, well, I want to say barely in the game. They were there, but they were completely different in game.
Well, yeah, because the first game was a masterpiece.
Some changes for the character in the show are better. Like,
But, dude,
his motivation in the show is a lot better than the
dude,
game.
well, okay.
But
Again, I do expect things to be better. Like, maybe some decisions that they think could have been better. But like, okay, we got a season 1, right? Where's season 2? If this was so good, where's season 2, man? How long has it been? 3 years? 4 years?
I don't know.
It's been a while.
I only played the game. All I heard from the show was like,
Yeah, people
stuff here and there.
like, when I say people don't really care about it, I mean like it didn't do well. And for a show to do well, you have to have more than like 1 million viewers.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, maybe 5 million people watched. But you get something like Fallout, where first episode was like 15 million people or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, like, dude, there's some shows, some movies that like, that's why you get like Deadpool Wolverine, as crappy as that movie was, $180 million opening weekend in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
180 million. The entire budget for The Acolyte,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So obviously it's gonna be $1 billion hit because of the charisma, and this is one of those very rare moments where the bad writing is being surpassed by the great acting that's in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for a show to be successful, it has to have different criteria. It has to constant viewership, a progression of viewership as well. So it can't just be constant. You can't just have first episode 1 million viewers, next episode 900,000.
Mm-hmm.
No, it has to have a growth.
Yeah.
You know, like the season finale, a finale should draw a ton of people in.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they're not doing a season 4 Mandalorian? They're doing a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last season the entire season had less viewers than one episode of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
The whole season as a whole. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, that tells you, like, this is a failed show. No one's watching it no more.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, The Acolyte, why were people watching it so much? Because they were hating on it. Because
Hate
it sucked.
watching. Yeah.
It was hate watching. It was so bad, it warranted viewership.
Yeah.
So, The Acolyte, but then it got so bad even after that people couldn't stay in it no more. And the finale was just nothing. There was nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when it launched. And then it got a slight hit because people were like, wait a minute. They did what? They put Plagueis Yoda. They did what? And then they went to go see it, but then got out. And also, with a streaming service, they see how long people stayed, which scenes. You know, like, now you can, when you're, like, fast-forwarding viewers, you could see, like, most viewed part
Yeah.
as you're skipping, right? So, like, either people are skipping, or that's the most paused area, or that's people rewinding the most and keep constantly seeing that, maybe clipping it. So that's, like, the most important part to most people.
Mm-hmm.
So they're also seeing that as well. They're like, there's a lot more analytics that go onto the show.
Yeah.
You know, they release it at specific times because they know that that's how they're gonna get the most viewership. And even then, they're not getting as good as The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like The Last of Us, it was a flop by all intents and purposes. Like, it made some money. You know, it brought some eyes to it. But it wasn't. And I would say what hurt it more was the bad publicity for Last of Us Part 2 and how much Neil Druckmann hated on the fans and was a total cuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the main hit for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like people weren't even going to give it a chance, even if it was good, because of the things the guy did in the past.
That's right.
Like, remember when Netflix lost? It didn't matter how good they did. They lost so much money when they released the whole Cuties thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, their stock plummeted, man. Like, people unsubscribed like crazy. They lost over 1 million subscribers, dude.
It's also crazy to me that same company can make Daredevil, Punisher, lose those, make that, then go back to making good stuff with the Ultraman thing. And it's like they're like all over the place, man. I don't even know what the hell.
Well, like, I think I think it's similar to, like, Amazon, right?
Army of the Dead, that should suck dick too.
That was Zack Snyder.
It's still Netflix.
I know, like, okay, so Netflix backs it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did One Piece, so One Piece season 2 is coming out,
Yeah.
and so they back certain projects up, right? But certain projects that they don't believe in, when a studio doesn't believe that much in something, they leave it to the directors to do, right? So if they picked a good director by happenstance or whatever reason, and they leave them alone because they're not really sure about that project, then they make usually great stuff. You know, like, look at, okay, The Boys did super well season 1. And because it did so freaking well, the studio got involved just a little bit. Really wanted to push things out, prolong it. But the writers and directors were like, let's move away from the comics. Not in terms of changing characters, but, like, in terms of adding their own politics in it. We hate Trump, Nazis, whatever. Like, certain dialogue that it's like, okay, that's for modern day audience. This is kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They still had the violence and everything with it, so it kind of masks it. But it's not doing well. Like, The Boys has been doing badly ever since season 2
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't well received. But then you get, like, Reacher season 1 and 2. The directors are very adamant from keeping Amazon out, and they're like, hey, we, like, and Terminal List, Amazon didn't really believe in that, and they believe, like, oh, we gotta really stay on Lord of the Rings, and so they're gonna look at all the analytics and everything, and then they came out with Rings of Power because they're looking at everything. And remember, the most people that are on the internet are these freaking weirdo woke psychos, because they don't have a job, they have time to worry about this stuff. They don't know what the real world is like, so they look at their generals and they don't know what they got. That's their problem, right? So then those are the ones online, and those are where the algorithm is taking you. So people who just analyze numbers, and is not listening to. This is one of those instances where you got to listen to the people.
Yeah.
Because when you're not listening to the people, you're listening to these possibly fake numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they always say numbers don't lie, but like, who is on there? What's the numbers of people who are normal on there versus people who are not? I guarantee you, most people on the internet are not normal. Guaranteed. Okay, so you do that, and then they want to make it like uber successful, even though they know that's going to be successful. They believe in it, so then they put all this bull crap in it, and then you get that crap like Rings of Power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think Netflix kind of does the same thing. They try to interject their crap into stuff because they think like this is what the people want. We've done the work. We know the analytics. We've put money into this marketing. This is the audience is gravitating towards, and they think that's the truth when the story should just bring people.
Yeah.
Good marketing, yes, but the story itself should be compelling enough that it is just objectively good,
Mm-hmm.
and people are gonna come and talk about it and have word of mouth. Like standing the test of time is the most important thing. A movie like Tremors, you know Tremors, with the
Yeah, I know
Yeah, yeah.
Tremors.
okay, extremely well written movie, did horrible, like tanked at the box office,
Yeah.
but it's a cult classic. Like people talk about it till this day.
I think the first.
It did like, dude, their DVD sales skyrocketed, but like nobody watched it in theaters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's when you know that something is good, because maybe at the time
Holy
people are not
shit.
getting to it, but because you allowed the story to be a story, people will go to it eventually.
Man, I remember with Tremors, we were at Walmart one night, super late, and you know, in the discount disc piles they used to have.
Mm-hmm.
So
The $5, $1 ones.
I found the fucking collection of the
Oh,
five,
Tremors 1 through 5. Yeah, yeah.
and then I was like, oh, okay, $5. Bought it. Amazing. No one does. It goes from Graboid to Shriekers to Ass Blasters to then the Antarctic, then the Saharan, and that series is also, to me. I would make a video on that series. That series is fucking crazy.
No, dude, you could analyze the first movie and break down phenomenal.
I also-
Like the other ones are different,
Yeah.
but the first one has phenomenal writing, character setup, how they act, how they interact. Everything speaks to like it's such good writing.
I also
Characterization
didn't
phenomenal.
know till recently that the girl who played Lex in Jurassic Park is the main love interest in the first one.
Lex, like
Like the
The
little
one?
girl. Yeah.
Really? Huh.
I know. I was like, that name sounds familiar. Where have I seen that name? I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay,
right.
okay.
No, yeah. So like, and then Last of Us ain't gonna stand the test of time.
The
now,
game
it,
might.
now it might, huh?
The game might. The first one.
The first one, yeah. Now it might, because people might, like, if it's good writing. I don't know. I haven't watched it. Again, we've talked about on stream the whole difference why gay stories don't necessarily work, because it's extremely difficult for everybody to relate.
Mm.
Because everybody can relate with the relationship between man and a woman, because everybody has to deal with men and women in their lives for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see them on the street. You get to know the differences. Doesn't matter, gay, straight, trans, whatever you are. You will have to live, interact, work with the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's and it speaks to like falling in love with the character, not their look. It's great when we like the look, but we like a character because in the name, character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they are this type of person. They when it go and gets tough, they still fight against the odds. They still like go get it. Whatever it is. Like, you're falling in love with how they react, interact. You know, what they are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's good, it will stand the test of time. People will eventually gravitate to it. Okay. Now I don't think so, because of the gay story.
Mm-hmm.
I like the actor who plays one of the gay characters. He's Ron Swanson in Parks and Rec. Like, I think he's funny. I don't care for his political views. I know he's a Hollywood guy, most likely a Democrat, most likely says crazy stuff, whatever. Probably a liberal.
I love Ron Swanson.
Yeah. I love Ron Swanson. But, like, the actor himself, yeah, probably all those things. But, like, he does deliver great performances. Like, I saw he gave a speech, he's like, yeah, like, people ask me, why did I do a gay story? I did a love story. And it's like, good response, but like, you're not understanding what people are asking you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not understanding, like, hey, what gravitated towards this? Did you genuinely want to tell this story, or was this a political thing which you're like, oh, I'm gonna get some points for this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what
Some brownie
like
points.
what you as an actor thought this role was an amazing role for you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or was this also another job where your agent booked it and now you're working? You know, what does it mean? What does it truly mean to you? Like, people don't really word their questions right, but you gotta listen. You gotta dissect it, and like, you gotta understand the time that you're living in too. Like, people are, like, we're getting bombarded with this stuff everywhere, right? All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Even gay people are sick of it. So when somebody asks you that question, think, okay, why are they asking me this question? This person might not look. Hey, does this person look like whatever you want to say, bigot, homophobe, whatever comes in your head? And if the answer is no, but they ask the question that you deem might lean towards that, why don't you dissect it? Like, ask them, what do you mean? Or did nobody even ask you that question, and you just went up and said it for a publicity stunt so you could get a nice clap? Because then, again, Hollywood has been doing shows and movies for themselves and not for the fans, the audience. Because if they did it for the fans and the audience, then we would get things we like. We would get the accurate comics. You know, we would get good comic book films. Like, look at Viva Vendetta. It didn't follow it completely to the letter, but it's one of the best comic book movies ever. Like, ever, man.
Yeah.
Like, my top comic book movies are The Donner Cut, Superman Returns. Or not Superman Returns, sorry. Superman 2, The Donner Cut. V for Vendetta. Sam Raimi, Spider-Man 2. I kind of like Captain America quite a bit. The First Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy that quite a bit. But I would say in terms of accuracy, those three are very comic booky. And as crappy, and here's the part where, like, I like a crappy thing. Love Ghost Rider. It's a crappy film.
Yeah.
I love it. Spirit of Vengeance is objectively the most comic booky
I haven't
movie.
seen the second one yet.
You'll enjoy it. It's so comic booky. Like, it's like they, like, filmed it like a comic book. The page parts like that.
Yo, I low-key,
Yeah.
I low-key, like, got teary-eyed when I finished the Dark Knight trilogy because I had never finished it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, Batman. Oh, Batman. You shouldn't have done this. That shit was so crazy. That movie was such a roller coaster.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crappy movie. But I still will watch it.
Yeah.
Like, I like like Wolverine Origins.
Yeah. X-Men
I-
Origins Wolverine.
Like, okay. I might. Here's a hot take. I might like that just as much as Wolverine and Deadpool.
What?
Wolverine. First Wolverine movie.
That's a hot take?
Well, X-Men Origins Wolverine is a garbage movie.
I
But
liked
again, Wolverine and Deadpool is also a garbage. Well, in
I
terms of
liked it a
writing.
lot.
In terms of writing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still. Yeah, like, dude, there's, like, the scene where he's, like, sharpening his. It's terrible CGI. Some of the worst claws I've ever seen. But, like, I think his hair looks great. It's a good mix of comic / real life.
it. Yeah.
You know. My favorite version of Sabretooth. You know, like, I always thought like they even made it more ridiculous, Sabretooth in Wolverine and Deadpool. But I always did want a more comic book accurate Sabretooth, you know, with the whole fur thing and like the blonde hair and all that stuff. But I like what they did with Victor and made him his brother and stuff like that. I think it was cool. So yeah, but I really like the second Wolverine movie, the one in Japan. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I would say X2. X2 is probably up there in one of my favorite comic book like movies. I'm trying to think of other movies that are based off comics. I would say one of the best comic book movies that it's not because I like it, but objectively is one of the better comic book movies is The Watchmen.
Yeah.
And Zack Snyder directed that one. And that's why we had a lot of faith in his freaking DC garbage universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, yeah, man. Like, there's a lot of crappy comic book movies I like. I like the Daredevil Ben Affleck one. It's so trash, but I like it, man.
Fair
It's
enough.
so cheesy. But yeah, and like Star Wars, dude. And you want to know why Star Wars is such a hot topic for like canon and things like that? It's because it started off as a cinematic thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there won't be as much damage as the MCU can do to superheroes. It started off as comics, so there's not as much hate. Like Rings of Power is gonna be the closest it comes to hating something. That started off in not a cinematic way. Right? But Star Wars was cinema. That's how it began.
Yeah.
So even though you write so it's the opposite. You know, if you write a book, but then do a movie adaptation of that book or a show adaptation of that book, then now the show is canon, but not the novel. Right? Which the other way, for most of them, it's the opposite. Like, you'll never say, like, I love the Peter Jackson movies. The books are superior, but you'll never say the movies are the canon of this world.
Yeah.
You know, like the MCU. You might get some great movies, but as soon as they deter and start doing all this other crap, that's not the canon. It is the comic books that we grew up with and read. You know, so that's why I think. And that's why I think people hold on to Star Wars, because not only was it a hopeful story, but it's one of the things that people still believe that we can save. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe Disney can save it, but I think it can be saved. It's just one of the most complicated things to save right now. And it will be until somebody buys it.
Yep.
But yeah, but that's, I think, I don't know, do you have anything to add, brother?
I got it. That was it for me tonight.
We're back on Wednesday. Yeah, I had fun. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so, I know right now we're just doing streams. We're just talking about things we like. We'll be doing more shorts. We'll be doing more videos eventually. It's just that video stuff for us is we work a lot, and not to make an excuse, but I do get lazy. I get hell lazy. I get tired, man.
Yeah.
But we'll work on some stuff. It'll eventually get there. Again, we're doing this mainly for fun. Obviously, like I said, one of our goals, we do want to make money from it. We do want it to grow and make a business out of it. But if we take the fun out, then there's no point.
Yeah.
So this is, Anderson and I are partners in this, and we just love doing it. Get 1 view, get 8 views. That don't matter to us. We're just happy that we can provide something to the world.
I agree.
Hell yeah. So we out. That's the end of our stream for us. Hell yeah. See you guys.